spoke with Alive, who is our title sponsor, and we made certain that there are additional bandwidth in place to accommodate the various tablets that are needed for the judges. And also we liaise with the police to make certain that those vehicles that are entering the parade route in the hole do so in the correct venue.
Co-chair of the National Junkanoo Committee, Kish Lane-Smith, says this year's parade benefited from improved planning, coordination, and technology to ensure smooth execution from start to finish. Powerhouse groups including the Royal Caribbean Music Makers, world-famous Valley Boys, Shell Saxon Superstars, One Family, the Way Forward Valley Boys, and Genesis filled Bay Street with color, rhythm, and storytelling.
The group was ready for this morning, despite what happened Boxing Day. They're vibrant, the colors are beautiful. As you can see, the theme, festivals of the Bahamas Islands, Islands in the Sun. You're talking about Crab Fest, Rake and Scrape, Kong Fest, Pineapple Fest, Regattas. We brought in all the Bay Street this morning. You see the colors? They're beautiful.
For the Saxon Superstars, who placed third on Boxing Day, New Year's Day was all about bouncing back.
So I see, and you were seeing this morning at the Saxon that bounced back. We had energy, we had music, we had performance.
Confidence was also high for One Family, showcasing a blend of seasoned veterans and rising young talent.
We have a very strong team, senior people, and our juniors as well, who we continue to grow up. I just feel very confident about this parade.
B division groups entered from both Bay Street and Shirley Street, presenting themes centered on faith, culture, and social awareness, drawing loud cheers from an enthusiastic crowd. From the intricate costumes to the powerful drum beats, the 2026 New Year's Day Junkanoo Parade once again proved that this beloved tradition continues to unite the nation and showcase the very best of BAME in creativity. Well, as you just heard, the 2026 New Year's Day Junkanoo Parade was truly anybody's game. The Shell Saxon Superstars were seeking to restart their winning streak. The Valley Boys, Way Forward in 1958, came ready to prove themselves, and yet, in the end, One Family, Junkanoo showed why they're the team to beat. With a show-stopping performance, they claimed the crown once again, continuing their reign of dominance. Our Danielle Dean breaks down the results of this year's unforgettable parade.
Well, it can certainly be said that they've earned their bragging rights. The One Family Junkanoo and Community Organization emerging the two-peat victors following the New Year's Day Junkanoo Parade.
In 7th place, after being assessed 3 penalty points with 390 points, Music Makers. In 6th place, after being assessed 63 penalty points, 446 points, Valley Boys. In 5th place, with 531 points, Genesis Warhawks. In 4th place, with 533 points after being assessed 1 point, world famous Valley Boys. And in 3rd place, with 539 points, Roots. In 2nd place, overall scores, with 566 points, Shell Saxon Superstars.
And One Family snagged the top spot again with 594 points after a 2-point penalty deduction, making them the overall parade winners for both the Boxing Day 2025 and New Year's Day 2026 parades. The last victory for the group was the 2023 New Year's Day parade, right before the Saxons began their 4-peat streak. Colors Junkanoo Group securing a victory in the B category. Notably, the Boxing Day 2025 and New Year's Day Parade 2026 were no disqualification, only penalty parades. And committee members weren't able to speak to the reason for deductions like the 63 penalty point deduction from the Way Forward Valley Boys, but ZNS will continue to follow. Now, while Junkanoo season here on New Providence has come to a close, a number of Family Island residents look ahead to their parades. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Well, in the aftermath of Boxing Day and New Year's Day Junkanoo parades. Crews from the Ministry of Works along with the Ministry of Tourism were deployed along Bay Street to clear debris. While the vibrant cultural celebration drew thousands of spectators, the festivities also left behind significant amounts of litter. Supervisors Brian Roll and Wayne Evans stressed that while government agencies remain committed to the task at hand, the responsibility does not rest with them alone, urging Bahamians to take greater ownership in keeping public spaces clean, more specifically during major national events.
As Bahamians, we should be able to have all the garbage in the bins instead of having it underneath the bleachers and on the sidewalk.
Well, even if the bins overfull, put it closer to the bins than just throwing it all over the place. Because most time, Bay Street and the cruise ship tourists, they come out pretty early. So it actually be cleaning with tourists walking past and other things. So with the dust blowing and other stuff, it kind of get in their way. They're trying to enjoy themselves in the country. The cleanup for New Year's is more intense because they moved the bleachers off of Bay Street. So we have to do a more detailed clean. You know, we ain't see the bleachers until Junior Junkanoo. So now we got to get up underneath all that stuff, wait on them to unbolt all the bleachers them off of Bay Street, and then we'll come behind and do the detailing behind.
Governor General Her Excellency, the Most Honorable Dame Cynthia Pratt, has released the list of outstanding Bahamians receiving this year's King's Honors from His Majesty King Charles III. The Order of the British Empire awarded to Raleigh William Albury for services in business and religion, Barbara Ann Bernard for services to banking and finance, Reverend Dr. Vaughn Lester Cass for services to religion, and Percival Andrew Knowles for services to sports. The member of the British Empire presented to Athema Bow for services to tourism and hospitality, Godfrey MacDonald Gray for services to local government and business, and Jennifer Ann Kettle for services to education. The British Empire Medal awarded to Donnelly Veronica Bow for services to public service, arts and crafts, and community empowerment. Well, as church members welcomed 2026 at St. Barnabas Anglican Church, Great Father Roderick Bain delivered a powerful reminder of the importance of maintaining a personal relationship with God. He urged individuals to daily draw closer to God, warning that the Bahamian society has drifted toward a nearly godless state, spiritually depleted, and in urgent need of renewal.
When we look at family life, and when we look at the dysfunctionalism in our family lives, when we look at crime and violence and everything else in our society, when we look at the conflict and the contradictions, when we look at the corruption and the evil that is prevalent in our land, and when we see that there are those who would prefer darkness more than light, we may ask ourselves, what has the name of Jesus done in our country all these years? Have we called on this name? Do we know this name? Or is this name just something that we toy with?
Well, Father Bain called on Bahamians to get their lives in order and live in a way that demonstrates God's reality to others. He encouraged everyone to be bold and courageous in proclaiming the name of Jesus.
I want us tonight, as the Rasta would say, we need to conscious of ourselves. Recognize that we ought to be more God-conscious in our living. Everything that we do should be pointed to He who is King of Kings and Lord of Lords of our lives. There must be a personal response first in our lives that we have accepted Jesus as Lord and Savior. We must personally say yes to Jesus before any change can happen. If there is no change in our society, it's because we, singularly and collectively as church, we haven't done what we are supposed to do.
You're watching the Bahamas tonight. There's more after this.
For over half a century, we've been more than just an airline. We've been a bridge, connecting families, dreams, and memories across the islands and beyond. Behind every seat sold and every journey planned, there's a dedicated team committed to making air travel affordable and accessible to everyone. At Bahamas Air, we're not just building connections, we're building a safe and dependable airline where quality service is paramount and an excellent travel experience is our priority. Wherever you're going, we're here to take you there with care, with heart, and with the promise of unforgettable journeys. We are family, and just like family, we're committed to taking care of our own. Your Bahamas Air is our Bahamas Air, because here at Bahamas Air, we don't just fly here, we live here.
It's a Holy Frosty Christmas, and Wendy's and Coke is bringing the chill. This year, when you upgrade any Wendy's combo to a large, you can instantly win big with the Upgrade and Win Christmas giveaway. We're talking travel gift cards, gadgets, holiday treats, and prizes that make your Holy Frosty Christmas shine. Just upgrade your favorite lunch combo, scan the QR code on your receipt to enter, and let the holiday magic begin. Enjoy great tasting food and win big this Christmas with Wendy's and Coca-Cola's Upgrade and Win. Rules and restrictions apply.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the Paradise Games Holiday Promotion. Visit pggames.com today and enter for your chance to win.
Welcome back. A traffic accident at the intersection of West Street and Gibbs Corner has left 3 adult tourists and a young male child visiting from Montreal, Canada, nursing injuries following a 2-car collision. Both vehicles involved were taxis. Emergency responders were called to the scene where both vehicles were extensively damaged. While the exact cause of the crash has not yet been determined, officers on the scene reported the presence of alcoholic beverages. The accident led to traffic delays in the area as emergency crews worked diligently to clear the wreckage and assess the scene. Police once again urging motorists to exercise caution on the roadways, particularly during the holiday season. Investigations continue. Well, in 2023, the Privy Council ruled that children born out of wedlock to Bahamian fathers and foreign mothers are citizens of the Bahamas at birth and do not have to wait until they are 18 years old to apply for citizenship. Chief Passport Officer Nicholas Simonet says a passport department noticed the impact of this ruling during 2025.
We rolled that out earlier in the year. I think around March, we did so. There are Bahamians born in every country, and we have seen it. So it requires also this office now to do research on the documentation that those persons bring forward. Not just to say verify it based on apostille or authentication, but also to verify that the document is legitimate. You know, so we do have a task in terms of verification.
Simonet also noticed there's still some public confusion surrounding who is automatically eligible for citizenship.
Anybody born in country to a Bahamian parent can now be the recipient of that citizenship by descent. When you're born outside the country, it still remains the same. Only a married Bahamian man who was born in the Bahamas could pass on citizenship to a child born outside the country. Only a single Bahamian female who was born in the Bahamas could pass on citizenship to a child born outside of country.
This portion of the news is brought to you by folk called Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Ready to insure your ride? Our new website is ready for you. Visit jsjohnson.com. Select coverages, go to Motor, and click Get a Quote. We've made it easier than ever to request a quote online. Fill in all the required fields. When you're done, hit Submit. You'll receive a response via email within 24 hours. Visit jsjohnson.com today.
Wait, what are you grabbing all these pizzas, boy?
Wait, Marcos, wait. We have a special on all the large one-topping pizzas, wait.
Pineapple.
All.
Barbecue.
All. Hey, that included, but.
I need the $10 special plate.
How many would you like?
20 in it. Thank you so much, man. $10, that's it. The Marcos got that deal, boy.
This portion of the news is brought to you by 700 Wines and Spirits, bringing celebration across the nation.
Welcome to New Year's Day Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports and baseball news. The Bahamas ended the year on a historic note as the 242 would enter the top 40 of the World Baseball Rankings for the first time. The Bahamas currently sitting in the 40th spot, moving up 3 spots just ahead of the U.S. Virgin Islands and behind Costa Rica. Now, of course, the Bahamas most recently finished with a silver at the Caribbean Baseball Cup held here in the capital last month. The tournament showcased strong performances from the 242, especially throughout group play. They opened with a 3-2 victory over the U.S. Virgin Islands, followed by the most dominant win of the competition, a 29-zip rout of the Dominican Republic. The team then dropped a close 2-1 game to Curacao before bouncing back with a 2-1 win over St. Martin to finish the group stage, and of course, wrapping up with a silver to end the tournament. In track news, NSO sports team catching up with B3A's president, Rico Archer, who would give us his summary of the Bayman track season for 2025.
And we've produced some amazing athletes. I know that, we center our thoughts around specific athletes at the junior level, but I think we should make no mistake about it. We have some really, really talented athletes that I believe will be world-class and top contenders in years to come. Again, we went to the World Championships indoors and we got a gold medal from Devin Charlton. That was Herculean in large measure. And then, of course, Anthea made her debut. I think she will be one of the top sprinters that the Bahamas will see for the next 10 years.
Now stay tuned as Archer outlines his expectations for 2026. I'm Amajal Knowles. Enjoy your holiday.
You've heard of electric cars. Now it's time you drive one. Easy Car Sales welcomes you to experience the power and prestige of the latest electric vehicles. Plug in at home for a 65% discount off your gas bill and never get stuck at the pump again. Build your dreams of a better future with a better car, the BYD EV. Visit easy242.com to book your free test drive today. Save your money while driving in style, only at Easy Car Sales.
One day I told my grandpa, show me what being a Bahamian is all about, and I'll show the Bahamas to the world. Together, we show the world what it means to be Bahamian, and we celebrate with an ice-cold Quebec. More than a bear, it's the spirit of the Bahamas. Click. It's in our hands.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting TingsyBahamas.com.
Time now for a check on tonight's weather forecast. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dane joins us. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Desmond. That cold front now south of the Bahamas, leaving behind that cold air mass, which pushed temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s over much of the northwest Bahamas last evening. Tonight, not as cold, but still very chilly, below normal for this time of the year. And boating forecast in the northwest and central islands tonight. Those winds northwest at 10 to 15 knots. The wave heights around 2 to 4 feet. Now, the low tide, that will take place at 11:53 tonight for the southeast Bahamas tonight. Northerly winds 10 to 15 knots. The wave heights also at 2 to 4 feet. And then as we take you into the northwest and central Bahamas on Friday and Saturday, those winds are going to fall off, producing very beautiful boating conditions, light variable winds and flat seas. Now, the high tide on Friday will take place at 6:25 in the morning, with the low tide taking place at 11:58 in the afternoon. And for the southeast Bahamas Friday and Saturday, those winds backing, becoming northeast at 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they're brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. Taking a look now at temperatures around the islands. Marshall, Abaco, 66, 65 in Green Tulkey. That's also in Abaco. Freeport, Grand Bahama, 65 degrees. The Berry Island, 68. Alexander Bimini at 65, 69 in Harbor Island. Roxanne, Eleuthera, 68. Otterstown, Cadalla, 70 degrees, 69 in Black Point, Exuma. Also, Kemp Space at Andros. Fresh Creek, Central Andros at 68 degrees. San Salvador and Rumkey, 70 degrees. 70 also in Georgetown, Exuma. 72s in Riker Island, Clown, San Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Maguana, and Ackland's reporting 77. 78 in Matchewtown and Agua, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 79 degrees. And your forecast tonight, a little bit more cloud in the forecast. Temperature not as cold as it was last night, but we're looking at about 62 degrees for a low temperature tonight. And then tomorrow, it's going to be quite pleasant with periods of clouds and sunshine. High temperature, 72 degrees. And your extended weather forecast unfolding like this. Beautiful weather right through Saturday, but come Sunday, we will see some clouds and showers return to the forecast as another frontal system moves into the area. And then thereafter, we'll see that cooling now once again, with temperatures staying pretty much below normal for this time of the year. But once we get into the early part of next week, once again, the skies open up, lots of sunshine. So another beautiful week shaping up for you. Nighttime temperatures very, very nice over the next 7 days. Desmond.
Thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.
At Harold One, I'm Ted Jervis, and this is ZNS.
Music don't win parade. Costume is win parade. If you hang around Junkanoo enough, you will hear this debate, and as much as musicians love to argue the point, the split will always be in favor of the visual art form displayed within the costumes.
An artist friend of mine at Junkanoo, Anthony Gibson, said to a group of artists and myself that the art we do is different from Junkanoo, and we always saying no. The only difference may be scale and what you draw on. Taking up that challenge, we decided to go to the shack.
Now, the builders, of course, KA was at the core, right? And then we got, of course, Jackson and Bubbles and Bappy and you know, and Gippy, right? The Sea Dogs, and we just had some brilliant builders who just rallied to the occasion.
One family has had some phenomenally talented builders, old and new. And as with all Junkanoo groups, they follow some sort of process to conceptualize and construct a costume from the ground up.
Whatever the idea is, 1 person, 2 people, 5 people come with the idea. Then how best to represent that Sometimes you come with sketch. Sometimes you come with photographs. But for me, even with the photograph, I'd like to draw the idea out first.
The next most crucial step is drawing out the costume and bringing it to life. One shark in particular placed special emphasis on this. Led by the head builder, Trevor Bubbles DaCosta, the six-pack shark on the Fort Hill worked diligently to revolutionize Junkanoo through innovation and a dedication to excellence.
You couldn't come around the shark playing, and you had to know what was going on or how to do certain things around the shark. If you didn't know how to do certain things around the shark and you wasn't contributing, you couldn't be around the shark. That's what I remember.
Any day, any night, anytime they want to line up, let's go. Let me tell you something. Jabroni group? Thank you. This is not a Jabroni group, it is an adult group. We may not have no icons in our group, but we get enough people inside this group who have little special talents. And when we mesh them together, hello, the pot boiling over.
When I was retired, and I look at my brother, and he was working so hard in the shop. He was doing everything, billing, drawing, designing, I mean everything. And when me and him hook up, it took off. It was no stopping us now because to me, we is the best 1-2 punch in Junkanoo.
There was, and still is, an iconic feature that marks one family's costume and designing on Bay Street.
We didn't have to do no big patch of colors, you know. We do lines in a line and
clarity, the ability to add detail when it's needed, and then edit some of the lines to simplify some of the patterns when needed.
That was our real statement on Bay Street, lines and colors. Yes, I mean, something to look at.
The Bubble was before his time. Bubbles was good. He was good.
This guy was so deep, I mean, when it comes to putting the costumes together, it's just not just a matter of putting drawings on paper. He would do that research and go deep, and I remember a costume he bought with angels. And someone walked inside the shark and they saw this angel with these 6 wings, and he was like, what kind of angel you got? It's seraphim and cherubim. He going right down to the nitty-gritty. If you don't know history, you can learn it from just looking at the costumes that Bubba's bring. He had a passion for that. And like I say, he was born for that.
He is also responsible for the new method of building off-the-shoulder costumes. A design that saw the costume go from being a sometimes cumbersome single costume to a simpler modular concept centered around a frame harness with extended rods that smaller cardboard pieces fitted with PVC pipes could be slid onto and taken off as necessary.
That blew my mind. I get in the shop. Bubba say, boy, this your costume. I say, really? They say, one piece of thing over there. Piece of thing over there. I say, well, how this thing going on? Mind you, I love the idea because you could take it down and paste into small pieces and then put it all together. In the old days, the big starter costume, I mean, you have to put that in the spot. You have to go different angles, bend this way, and then your back hurting, your neck hurting. But with a slaughtered costume, you take that apart, do what you gotta do. The people who looking don't know what's going on. And like when it all comes together on that morning, you put all them stuff together, man, that looks surprising. It's amazing. It's like a metamorphosis.
If you're in a small space, when it comes to height, you can build the costume on the ground. But with the slotting, by the time you slot that onto your shoulder, you can be anywhere 15, 14 feet. When in a normal building, it couldn't fit. The frames for, let's say for a Bella costume could also fit a dancer costume. Yeah. That's how he had the design. He had some dimensions that if you go out of that dimensions, it won't fit. And a lot of people couldn't understand, hey, what we is doing. Because I remember plenty mornings we going down Bay Street with the backdrop off. And people are all,